And we're back. I'm Jack. And I have with me today Mr. Fraser. And it's early January 2024. Whole new year. Whole new outlook. Whole new
you.
Whole new era.
Whole new era.
And
The next 40.
the next 40. Here we go.
Wow. They did it.
Yeah, it's true. They did it. But we'll get to that.
Get to it.
The thing that they did.
Got it.
Yeah. But overall, there was a run that they did at Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many years in a row now that they've done their new...
I think it was the 80th show at the beginning.
80th, yeah.
They're 84 into it now. Or some such number.
Right. Their next would be 84th, I think. I think it was 83rd, 80th, 81st, 82nd, 83rd.
Got it.
But
You're right.
how many years in a row now have they done New Year's at Madison Square Garden?
I mean, ever since that Miami thing,
Right.
it's been solid.
So almost 10 years.
Yeah.
At first glance, first listen to the run, I'd say 20th, 29th, 30th had some great moments,
Dips.
you know?
I felt they came right out like polished.
Yes, I
The
agree. I
28th,
thought the
like-
28th was a really nice sounding show. They did lots of good things. I was happy with it.
They were ready,
Yeah.
to play.
You could tell right from that Haley's comment, just like they sounded tight.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
they wanted it.
And they're at home there,
Mhm.
and you can just see it. I was thinking at the time, because I was thinking about, I've been thinking about the Sphere, because neither one of us were at MSG this run, unfortunately. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about the Sphere, and I was thinking about Thursday night and Friday, I've been thinking through the night, and I was thinking wow, they can really bust into a venue and lay it down. But this is home for them. This is home turf. When they set up on the stage, it's like being in their living room, and the Sphere is different. And I was just thinking through what nights are going to hit, what nights do I want to be there for if I can't be there for all.
Yeah.
But anyway, it did their comfort level. You could just sense their comfort level.
For sure.
Anyway, the 28th was great.
Yeah. 29th.
Fine.
29th's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yep.
I picked a lot of those songs. 30th. 30th was good-ish. Everything was as to be expected.
The 30th, I thought, was the one if I didn't go to that one, I would have been okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's usually a one murder, fuck, kill.
Yeah, murder, fuck, kill, whatever.
Those three.
Yeah, it's the 30th. It did occur to me, following along and listening and touring, couch touring. I was like, eh. Yeah, I think I even I lobbed a few teases your way about, it's just, Turtle in the Clouds, Undermine, Kill Devil Falls, Fuego, Train Song. It was fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was fun.
Look, there's nothing better on earth to do than be there. But if I had to miss one, I would have missed the 30th.
Right. But would you ever wanted to miss this 31st?
Would I? I did miss the 31st.
Would you would ever want to miss that one? And a lot of people did. A lot of people did. And it's funny because everybody knew. Literally everyone was like, Gamehendge, Gamehendge.
Everybody's
It's happening.
I know.
But you know what? That also happened in 2013 for the 30th because it was the same pattern. They didn't play any of those old Gamehendge songs on the first three nights. So everybody was like, they're going to do Gamehendge, and then they did Gem Truck. It was actually fun. But fucking Gamehendge shits all over that. All over every New Year's except for overall experience of Big Cypress. Musically and what they did and, the whole...
You're going right into it.
Well, why not?
Sure.
What are we waiting for? Nobody cares about the first three nights. So you can plug and play those set lists in any night over the last 5 years and be like, whoop.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Everybody knew.
Musically. Okay. Well, everybody knew. I mean, I was texting you a couple days prior being like, are they actually going to do it?
No, the day before or even the day of, we were texting.
I don't know. But
Because at that point,
we both agreed that it couldn't. Like, you wanted to have them, but like they're not going to give it to you.
I know, because
they're not going to give it to you. 40 years of conditioning, or it's 94, 25 years of conditioning. Okay, they're not giving it to you.
30 years of conditioning.
Right, I can do that.
No, I agree, and that's why, like, when it had happened before, like in 2013 with Gem Truck, or 2012 or 2012, 13, 12 to 13 to 14, it was 2013. There was the same thing, right? We thought it was going to be Gamehendge. They hadn't played any of those songs, but then everybody's got their hopes up and womp womp. But like Gem Truck was great.
Yeah.
They've just given the impression over the last years with their shift out of like covering a song for Halloween and, you know, doing new things is more their tempo these days. That's what they want to do. They don't want to relive the fucking glory days. They want to create new glory days with songs like More and Life Saving Gun and The Well and Wave of Hope. And, you know, like these are the things that are at the forefront.
Their creative energies.
Their creative energies are new things. So like, even though everybody wants them to do a Gamehendge, we'd all given up any sort of hope that it would actually come to fruition. And maybe they obviously knew that, right?
I mean, I just kept telling myself, it's actually the 40th, okay? Like, we could, there was more evidence that we could get it now than ever. And I kept thinking, like, every time they talk about it, oh, we should do a Gamehendge. Does someone want us to do a Gamehendge, you know? It's kind of, I could see them joking, like, if we're still a band in 40 years, we'll do Gamehendge. You know, like, but it's like, you know, are they going to have a 50th? Are they going to have a 60th? Like, these kind of questions start to seep into your mind.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just started being like, I could actually happen this time. Like, it seemed like such an inconceivable goal to get to. Here we are.
Yeah.
Blessed to be here 40 years in. I just knew it was going to happen. I can't believe we weren't there.
It's okay. You know?
Just be happy it happened.
It's going to be on Broadway, 2025. Gamehendge coming at you live.
It's on YouTube, HD 4K.
Which I am happy about.
Me too.
Because, well, it's also recut, I'm pretty sure. This on YouTube
edited.
Is edited, re-edited. It's not the actual stream, I'm pretty sure. It's what it said in their post, I think.
Got it. So it's a little bit of a tighter production. That'll be nice. The live stream, I found it hard to see everything that was going on the stage during the live stream. I did a bit.
I agree.
It's like they forgot the cinematography. They did
New Year's Eve, so I wasn't watching like so closely.
Me neither.
I had it on. Like,
sure.
Obviously the Gamehendge part, like I was like super engaged at certain points, but I also realized that, like, didn't realize at the time until afterwards when I saw fan footage on social media that there were things happening that we didn't really see.
Yes.
You know, like there was all this stuff going on in the crowd, and we're looking at like Paige's bald spot.
They obviously put a lot of effort into the choreography of the, you know, the puppets and
choreography.
It was quintessentially Phish. Like, no one could have done it better or worse.
It was all the clones just recostumed in new clones of the lizards. They didn't even have to learn any new moves. It was all the same moves.
I mean, I just kept saying, these guys are like, we're all such dorks. Like, look at what's happening right now. Like, I'm gleefully enjoying what's happening, but I was like, this is like, to other humans around me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like, but we're watching this like weird Sesame Street. Yeah, exactly. Psychedelic Sesame Street. Like, I don't know, you know. But they did it exactly the way that you would exactly expect them to do it. Like, of course, everything that happened, of course, that's what happened.
Yeah.
But the live stream, it's like they forgot to tell them that, like, hey, we've planned a lot of things, so like, just kind of like, you're gonna have to take that into consideration as you cut around
with your 72 cameras.
I feel like they could have done a little bit better with the stream. So that's cool to hear what you're saying.
There was quite an uproar on.
You couldn't, like, you know what was going on?
Groups, in my groups, all my groups.
Oh, your
Facebook,
group.
Yeah. People were. There was a whole hoopla
about
how the cut that was live, like we missed things. We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So at least they heard us. I like that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to someone the other day talk about how, you know, they were trying to get a copy of the stream and all these things because, like, they wanted to save it because, as we've seen with, like, Big Cypress and so many other things, like, you can't roll... No, yeah, it's like, wait, this will be locked away, you know, never to be seen again. And then, boom, like, not 24 hours later after I heard that, it was like, oh, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's there.
Yeah.
I'm psyched about it.
Stay on YouTube forever?
YouTube's a forever kind of place, man.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I haven't rewatched it. Have you?
I had it on yesterday.
Okay.
I watched some of it.
Yeah, I mean, we re-listened too. You rewatched.
Re-listened, but yesterday I watched. I'd say my eyes were on it maybe like 50% of the time, maybe less. For certain parts, you know, like the beginning, obviously, and then like the parts for like Tila and Wilson and the Mockingbird Forbin part and the AC/DC bag. That was a real hitter. I mean, it was kind of... I think that they did it maybe intentionally.
To be ridiculous.
Like
AC/DC bag in particular.
Like the robot costume.
Yeah.
That looked like a 16-year-old like theater student at high school.
Yeah.
Made that.
Yeah.
But like, it was cool. You know, like it was like that was kind of like the vibe of it. Because like, I guess maybe Trey has like a very nostalgic factor of his vision of what this could have looked like at some point when he wrote it when he was like 20 years old. You know,
I agree. I mean, think about when all this was percolating in his mind and he had these visions for this whole theatrical narrative playing out. It wasn't 40 years in the future.
Like a high
throngs
school
of fans,
musical as opposed to like a Broadway musical.
100%. It was a high school musical.
It might have been like kind of intentionally done that way.
Yeah, because the production was intentionally kitschy, shall we say?
Yes,
definitely kitschy
is a good word. You know,
on
like,
purpose.
With like the guy walking dressed in all black with the dog.
Yeah,
like,
the dog. Yeah,
all around.
So, did you see that meme when it's like, because Gordon went to go pet the dog at one point, and it's like when you're a cat person, it just was like a funny meme because he was like,
see that the multi-beast with like 4 or 5 people. Like
the multi-beast is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was into the multi-beast,
and I'm glad they had like things going around in the audience.
I'm so glad they did it. Like, I'm so happy for everyone there. I mean, obviously, you know, we were texting. I mean, people there. I just was like, I'm epic. You know, you're there right now. I can't believe it. You got your Gamehendge.
It was very well rehearsed. You know, like it seemed like they hit almost everything flawlessly, including Mockingbird and like Llama, Punch You in the Eye. Like everything was just great. Divided Sky
was great.
So good.
I know. In particular,
AC/DC bag had a nice jam in it. You know, they really, it seems like, thought it through. They really tapped into, like, you know, the community with all, like, the ridiculous shit about, like, Tila being a spy or not.
I love that.
All the questions.
Is it a spy?
Like, all these things that have been, like, lingering and percolating in the fan community.
I know, we get no resolution either on it. Like, they didn't say one way or the other. And, like, see, I even think they were saying, like, Trey, you're not going to tell. He's like, I won't tell. Like, he doesn't know. I mean, that's, we even layered that fiction on top, you know, as a fan base. Like, never even entered into Trey's mind that, like, there was a secret backstory to everything. We've invented all of that. But for them to play into that, I love just how connected the band is to, like, what we make up and do and stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I liked the grandma thing. I thought was kind of like entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, grandmas are more to the story, you know, and like
it was kitschy.
It's kitschy.
And I think that's like similar to what they did with the Gem Truck, right? On their 30th, which was like kind of kitschy, like taking it back. Our fucking microphone stands are hockey sticks.
Yeah. Like
taking it back to the day. That was kind of like this is a similar vibe to that, where it's like a hearkening back to
here we are celebrating an anniversary. This is where we came from.
Yeah. Playing our 84th show at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty
83rd.
83rd. Right. 83rd show. 84th is coming on the
in July
in summer
when they play 16.
They're going to go back to MSG. Yeah, they got to play 16 to get to 100 this summer.
100 shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet 16 and MSG this summer. See you there.
Wow. Start the rumor now. Sweet 16 takes you to 100.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the fact that they played that whole first set knowing what they were going to do, those cheeky little devils, like, they just knew, you know, there's no teasers in there, but I just thought like the Everything's Right as an opener was kind of funny, even though that's just me projecting on it. Everything's Right, just hold
Reba?
tight.
Like, has there ever been talk of Reba being part of that or no? No.
I don't think
Reba's
so.
not part of
You know, like I think the biggest
Game
thing
Henge.
was like maybe Axela 2, which is like obviously not Gamehendge, but is part of that like ancillary group.
Well, how about the newest edition of Gamehendge, Split Open and Melt?
Well, yeah, like what? I guess that was not, you know, I don't think they've added it to Gamehendge.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
They tied it in, you know,
Yeah.
like they brought it out of Gamehendge and went into the like volcano exploding and then boom, into Split Open and Melt. Like I thought that was really cool how they didn't just, they kind of tied it in, bringing people right back out.
Yeah.
That whole fable.
But historically, has Gamehendge been done exactly the same ever?
It's been done differently, different orders every time.
Different.
You know,
So there's no like,
there's no one way,
yeah, just like
or unless
how,
this is the way.
just like how Phish plays every show. There's no one way to do any song.
Because when obviously it became clear, I mean, look, Harpua, you were kind of like, well, they're doing it, you know?
Yeah.
But then the double down, in case you were just like, they're just fucking with us and playing Harpua. Clearly, towards the end, it was like, it's happening. You know, like, even if you had 1% doubt, like, it became obvious really quick. And I was looking at other times, you know, to be like, what? Okay, so, like, what do we get? Like, what are we getting in what order? And they were playing it different orders from other things. And I was looking at 94, obviously, and things were different, you know, and they didn't play an Iculus, which maybe some people, like, thought that they should. And there's all this.
This has never been part of it. Right?
I know, but, like, there's been so much hullabaloo in the last
Like
week.
Split Open and Melt has never been part of it, and like Possum is
part of that like third like the not Gamehendge. Yeah, the ancillary world, like the post game is the Axela. It's like part of that whole Axela group, you know. And Possum, yeah, is not considered core, but is considered somehow in the realm of Gamehendge, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe they did it, you know, and try to explain to other people.
Why even bother?
I know.
I just whenever anybody, like, I was watching it with my brother-in-law who's like a huge Deadhead, and
Yeah.
he's fine with Phish, but like I was just like, this is like their rock opera,
Yeah,
like their
theater.
symphony
I know.
kind of thing, right? Where it's like a story and it's made by a bunch of D&D dudes.
I describe it as theater, even when we're not talking about Gamehendge. You know, it's like theatrical. Like, there's just something, like, there's goofy bits and weird bits and funny bits, and then there's like there's this other, you know, special nature of it all, right? And like, it is theatrical. It's not musical. It's almost theater half the time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, you watch this, and it's like definitely amateur theater.
Yeah.
I love it.
Which is a cool vibe.
I know. I was trying to explain to someone else, like, who it is, like, has friends that are Phish heads, you know? And he was like, oh, you know, he kind of heard a little bit about it. And he was like, explain it to me. I was like, I just really can't. I mean, here's the broad strokes. Well, like,
strokes, yeah. I mean,
here's the broad strokes. But it's important it's like really important to your friends. Sounds like they told you that, that they had a good time. Like, just know it was special for them.
And hopefully they do it again one day.
Do you really think that'll ever happen?
I mean, they've got it all down and rehearsed, and maybe it's one of the 70 songs that they've got prepped for the Sphere.
They're going to do it again. I mean, so many people expected or were kind of hoping for a Gamehendge at the Sphere.
I mean, Harpua never finished.
Right. So now you're on the conspiracy side.
Oh, we might as well explore that.
What a bit. All right. Well, yeah, there's those that say harpoon never finished. There's those that say it wasn't a real Gamehenge, because of X, Y, Z. There's a lot. There's a lot we are an insufferable group of people. We can't be pleased. Like, that doesn't matter what they do.
It's true. I'm pleased.
Oh God. It was everything that I wanted them to do, and they did a Gamehenge, and like, what better time for them to pick, in a special place.
Yeah.
With all that.
Think about it. Every New Year's gag that they've ever done, right? Like, it's a gag.
It's like lame.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's like a gag. Like,
I know, but we love it.
Like, I mooned you. Like, ooh, funny. It's like they try to come up with these like elaborate things that are going to be like uber exciting for people seeing them for the first time. But like, we've all seen like Star Wars. We've all seen like these incredible high production value movies and video games and all these things. And like, we love Phish's music. We don't love necessarily like the show that they put on.
The shtick.
Like, we love their music. The lights are great, but they're not up there like dancing and singing and playing their instruments like Kiss. Like, Kiss is up there for a spectacle.
You don't think the trampolines is when Phish just peaks?
I mean, that is a peak, or when they dance.
Or the dance.
Lady.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sure. But like,
right, but you're right. Kiss is a spectacle. Shit's on fire. There's blood splitting everywhere. I mean, the whole thing's a show.
The whole thing's a show. And like, that's not their speciality.
Absolutely.
But they crave it. They want to do it. They want to do like new and different and weird and interesting stuff. But for me, like, every gag that they've done is like, oh, cool. There's like people floating above the crowd, or they're like shooting fishermen out of a cannon, or there's like 100 pieces of a brass band getting out of a Mini Coupe, or they're driving around in a golf cart and like playing garden party. Like, nothing really like pulls at the heartstrings like this one does, right? Like, this is the one that
matters to everybody.
Yeah. It's in its own league. And the only one that it can even compare to it is because of the time and the build up and the performance that they did was Big Cypress, right?
Yes.
Big Cypress was an extraordinary event, not because of the show that they put on, but because of the music that they played and the extended version of the show that they put on normally, right? Like, there wasn't much extra other than like some
fireworks
and like Old Man River time.
A
bunch of hot dogs,
eating a fucking hot dog, waiting for the show to start. No.
And they roll in a fucking airboat. Hot dog.
I mean, I'm glad you brought this up because I mean, even Phish.net pulled down their ratings. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Because of a bunch of herbs.
Well, I mean, I can see that this night would have been epic. Like, I wish I was there. Like, I feel like I missed something that would have been like amazing to me.
Yeah.
But it would have been like, I really would have been at the top of my charts. But like, Big Cypress is at the top of my charts. Like, there was like just a different, and maybe it's attendance bias. I don't know. Maybe Big Cypress was magical.
Can never be recreated
for reasons that like, it was just in the moment magical, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, we'll see where it lands when Phish.net turns its rating system back.
A bunch of people who weren't even at Big Cypress for going and downvoting.
Yes.
Big Cypress's rating in order to get 12, 31, 23 to the top.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, sure, it doesn't really matter. But, and I'm sure there are people out there who are at both. Lots of people.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Those would have been the two tops for me. Or Dark Side. Well, there's a lot of good shows.
There's a lot of good shows, but then there's like Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
Big Cypress.
Right. Hollywood Bowl. Big Cypress. MSG 23.
MSG 23. Yeah. No, I mean, there is, I think we've discussed before, there's like the regular, Friday night at Lakewood in the summer, which is like a fucking incredible experience. You're sweating through every single pore, and like they're making you move, and they're throwing down a 30-minute tweezer, and it's just like, that is amazing. But that's just like a regular 2-set show, and then like once or twice a year, maybe not even more than once, you're getting a 3-set show with like, that's got a cherry on it, whether it's Halloween or New Year's Eve or a festival, right, where they have consistently tried, because obviously they like doing this, they like giving us something special to pique people's interest and get people to come, to get, sell tickets, and just because they love it.
Because they love it.
Like they want to keep us interested, because they I don't even think it matters so much about us, because they've realized that what they want to do is keeping us interested. So they just play Wave of Hope or, Santos Encore, and people are fucking throwing everything around the room and just feeling like it's somebody's best moment of their life every time they play Santos.
Yeah, no, it is. I continue to be like astounded when I'm like on like Instagram. There's a lot of big vibrant Phish community, I'd say, on Instagram, and you read a lot of the comments and you see stuff, and like there's some great guys out there that throw like great throwback shows, heavy hitters like DWDs and Gins and like Rebas and all these things that I think we share an affinity for. But then you'll see something like that's like, oh, here's Sister Ruby Waves from like 2 years ago, Yeah. And there's like people going like, oh, best moment of my life.
Yeah.
There's people that were in that life-saving gun. They were just like getting their fucking face melted off, And there's something for everybody. And I continue to be surprised where people find their joy in some of this.
Yeah.
But like, it's real. And what you're saying is absolutely true. It's someone's best moment always.
It just feels like they're not slowing down,
Well, speaking of not slowing down, just like for a second here, split open and melt, and then a nice yum, a great yum, actually, a great yum. Like the divided was big, the yum was big. Yeah, they give the people what they want. You need a New Year's yum. The Loving Cup, sure, great. Possum, the possum was fucking
so good,
on fire, dude,
so good.
And then like, okay, what else can they do? And then you get this encore that's like great, like Cavern, First Tube, Tweed Prize, like just give it to me in my veins. Like, great show. They fucking lit that possum up, and then you're gonna round it out with just like a nice little
bang, bang, bang,
bang, bang, bang off the back.
Like,
and it was just fuck, this is a great show.
Yeah, you hear Cavern, and you're like, oh, sweet, Cavern, Tweed Prize encore, and then they play the first two, and they're just like, all right, they're not letting this.
They're not done.
Are we gonna get like a? I was thinking we would get like a fluff head at that point.
Wow.
Well, but I was not butthurt about any of it.
So your take is the only thing wrong with the Gamehendge show is that there was no fluff head. Is that what you're saying?
Or Esther.
Yeah. I mean, it was just they did such a good job. They really did such a good job that night. I mean, being there would have been just a top fan experience. You know what? And the reason I say that is, look, they played fire too. They did play great. I think sometimes when they have all the theatrical stuff, it's a bit distracting for them, like in the sense that, the Phish that we love that like finds themselves sort of having an out of body sort of, connection with the music. I think sometimes I've noticed over the years when the gag's going on, it's, their brain's not turned off, and it's not just the music flowing from the depths of the universe through their fingers, right? It's more like, what's going on?
They got to like watch for giant balloons headed towards their
right,
and like, or they're just like, that's them soaking it all in.
They're soaking it in. They're just more present.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, sometimes some of the best jams and moments in music that we love are when they're like I don't mean I mean, they're so present because they're in the moment, but I mean, they're not like looking at they're just like, it's just the music is flowing through them. And that's why we show up every fucking time we can. But what I will say is like the energy in that room, right? Which is equal parts of a Phish show, right? So even if it wasn't the most blistering guitar solos of your life, even if it wasn't what it, and it, having said, you know, the Possum was great and there were so many great songs, but the energy in the room, dude, like everyone in there
was just there was bodily fluids
ecstatic,
out of everybody through their eyes, through their mouth,
ecstatic.
People were just losing it,
and like that, you know, we've all been in a situation where the crowd like brings you into this like state, and like that was it. Like MSG, fucking, we got our Gamehendge. Like everyone's just like losing their minds.
People's dreams coming true.
I've been known to get a little teary-eyed at a Phish show just in the middle of a fucking dank-ass jam. Okay, like if you think that I would have made it through,
no way.
That show without a misty
divided sky.
Dude, that divided sky. That divided sky. Divided sky always does that to me. So like, I think like that's what I, not only what I love to have been there musically and just in there, but like being in that fucking room with all that energy and all those people and all the love and all the fucking insanity that we know, like that is addicting. I can't believe they did that.
Do we want to talk about Wilson or no?
Ooh, when Donna showed up?
Is that something we want to talk about, or we could save that for another time? We should watch it again.
No, what? You want to get grumpy about Gamehendge?
No, I just want to do a closer analysis because I've never done like a serious. It's only been around for a couple days, you know. Yeah. There's a lot of hoopla about Donna coming out and doing some duet with Trey.
Look, it's not my favorite. I show up for the music.
Same.
I joke, but it did at the time. I was like, this is like Donna. Like, get her off the stage. But that's mean, and it was fun.
It was fun.
It was amazing. And I don't really want to say anything bad about this Gamehendge. Like, they can do no wrong, but if we're going to be Phish fans and find a fucking problem with it.
Fair enough. Just personally, that if I was the casting director on this, that wouldn't have been the Wilson that I chose.
Well, just don't sing. You can jump around.
Yeah, but I guess like trying something different, you know?
Let's try something different. You would have tried something different.
No, like that's what they were doing by like having a duet.
Right.
Wilson, like have sing along.
Yeah.
But like to me, maybe it just harkens back to like they were really going for that like High School Musical type vibe. Not the movie High School Musical, like an actual musical you saw when you were in high school.
Yeah, like kitschy on purpose.
Kids.
That was probably the moment that I disliked the most out of the theatrical production. Was there another time that you thought?
No, what was your favorite in terms of like the theatrical production?
Obviously, the beginning was cool just because, you know, it's happening. But I really think that, honestly, it was probably the Forbin Mockingbird situation. Just because I don't really remember what happened. I mean, he climbed the rhombus and then the thing. But like, it's less what was actually happening and just more like the triumph. I just love, you know, it's so triumphant. It's so like, here we are. Like, we're gonna do it. You know, like, woo. Yeah. And like, so I remember that being like the part I was probably most glued to. You know, the lizards running around. I love Lizards as a song, but like a bunch of guys with lizard hats on, like, all right, you know, I don't care.
They're really into having giant things flying around at MSG, so that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, and we joked that like they put feathers on their way, you know,
basically.
I mean, so that thing crashed. Did you see that?
No.
It like failed. It sputtered out on like page side.
Yeah.
It went down. Is
that on purpose?
No. It kind of like was losing altitude and wasn't keeping up. And people were trying to like boost it back into the sky. And there was some speculation that people were pulling on it. I've seen a lot of the footage. I didn't really see it. People were kind of pushing it back up.
Right.
You know, they were, because it was kind of
coming down.
Yeah, like balloons, like bouncing, you know, like go up, Mockingbird, like save the day. You know, you got
balloons,
the book.
Huh? No balloons. I like that.
There was a guy that dumped a bunch of balloons out of a box.
Oh, really?
Did you see that?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was the 31st. Yeah, I guess he brought a bunch of balloons and they blew them up in the box and they dumped them off at some time. Might have been one of the other nights. I'm not sure. But like Mockingbird Forbins for sure was my highlight, just because of how like the placement in the narrative and like where we are and, you know, but like what was he doing? You know, the bird flying around was cool. Him climbing the I thought the rhombus was actually super cool. I was really into that stagecraft.
Yeah. That was
good.
Like tilting. And that was high end.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, that was
because they're good at that kind of stuff.
That was not like High School Musical. That was real.
Yeah, that was real. That was like Kuroda's doing.
Totally. That
he like fuck around.
No, he doesn't fuck around.
The other stuff was like trade directing, and costume design, and
then what we're gonna do?
What was we're gonna get a guy, and we're gonna go down to the dollar store, and we're gonna get a sloth costume.
Yeah,
okay.
We're gonna get a box, and we're gonna put cups on it.
Then we're gonna get a really old person, put the sloth costume on, and walk really slowly.
Yeah, with a bottle of bathtub gin. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
I would say like it's hard for the same like Forward Mockingbird.
Yeah,
when they play that and just the whole like build up. Of course, like Harpua, Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday,
right?
Lizards, like that entry,
yes.
and then Punch You in the Eye. Like I fucking love Punch You in the Eye.
Fucking the best.
It's so good.
And
doing it in this order, I thought was actually really good because it was like up, down, fast, slow, fast, go, fast. You know, like if you look at it,
yeah.
Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday, slow.
Beautiful.
Lizards, like beautiful. Like whenever you think of Gamehendge, like obviously Lizards has the number one song.
Yes,
Gamehendge,
totally,
because it's deep Gamehendge,
like deep Gamehendge
in any other way.
No, it's the land of the lizard people.
But then like Punch You in the Eye,
is so good.
Like we're going.
Yeah,
AC/DC Bag, nice, good.
Yeah,
nearly 20-minute jam, but not
quite.
Too bad. Tila, slow. Llama, fucking go.
Yeah.
Wilson, sure. You know, fast. Sloth, also like a hitter. Divided Sky, like takes us nicely.
Yeah, but Wilson, you get everyone's like, you hate that fucking, you know,
what?
You hate him.
Yeah.
You know, so like there was like people in the crowd love it.
Yeah,
they're like, we don't like you, man.
Yeah.
I that's what I like about a Wilson.
Yeah, and then
Sloth.
They took a fucking...
The Divided was great. We already said that. But
yeah.
Boy.
And then they took a break, right?
I know.
A little intermission.
15 minutes.
15-minute intermission. That was actually an hour. So whatever.
Yeah.
And then came out with McGrupp.
Yeah.
And which was tight.
Yep.
Tight.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a ride.
Yeah, it was a ride.
It was so nice to like... I think this was maybe like Trey's opportunity to really like put it all together the way he wanted it to be. You know?
I mean, clearly they could have done whatever they wanted, right? So I do tend to agree with you. You know, he obviously looked back and said, like, we're doing it in this way. Like, this is the way we're doing it.
Yeah.
This is the way I want to do it.
Because I'm sure he's thought about it quite a bit over the last, like, 30, 40 years.
And I liked how so Mockingbird was a bit short, I guess, because, like, the New Year's came, you know?
Yeah.
But I liked how Gamehendge ended at the stroke of midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. Mm-hmm. I mean, with the exception of the explosion and the split open her mouth, which I don't know what to make of.
Well, it was actually, they were probably thinking to themselves, like, what are we going to do after New Year's? Like, what is supposed to come after Mockingbird? What's the closure? There is no, it's like an open-ended thing, right? So let's say by chance, incredible opportunity chance that they do this again, but not on New Year's. If they were to play it again, is there supposed to be like some finale, some closure of the story, or does it just go back into Harpua and like he was fucking, or NO2?
Well, so I was going to say, like, there's, you know, in the old days, right, it used to be NO2, you know,
yeah,
you know, and then here comes like the weirdness. And in 94, I'll read you 94, okay?
Yeah.
Starts with NO2, exactly like what we actually starts with Llama.
Yeah.
NO2. Lizards, Tila, Wilson, AC/DC, but then Forbins, Mockingbird, Sloth, McGrupp, Divided Sky.
Weird.
I know.
Yeah, because that's what I always thought. Divided Sky was the end.
It was like the
That's
end.
why I always thought Divided Sky was at the end.
Right, but if you read it like Divided Sky is like the chance that the lizard people did, I don't know, like who knows, right? I mean, that's
Only Trey.
it was nonsense 40 years ago, and it's nonsense today.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, and we're lucky, and they gave it to us, and this is the way Trey wanted it right now. And God, they delivered.
Gamehendge 2.0,
Yeah.
4.0.
4.0?
Is it now Phish 5.0?
I mean, I don't know.
Is it Phish 5.0?
We could be breaking the mold right now.
Gamehendge has been played, end of an era.
Are we declaring it 5.0? 40 more years? After Gamehendge.
Yeah.
There's before Gamehendge, and there's after Gamehendge.
Yeah. AG.
We'll see how well this ages.
Phish AG. Not 5.0. Phish AG.
Just that's all there is now. Before Gamehendge and after Gamehendge.
Yeah, there's no 1.0, 2.0,
No, switch.
3.0.
Yeah.
It's just Phish BG, Phish AG.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sounds good.
All right.
All righty. Glad we sorted that out.
You're welcome.
Bye.